Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to Social Studies. Lately, we've been talking a lot about Europe, and what we're going to do is we're going to dive a little deeper. So, we've been focusing on a lot of countries in Europe, but we're going to look a little bit closer at a few. And today, our topic is cultural traits. So, when I say culture, what is something that you think of? Okay, maybe how you kind of live throughout the day, maybe what you eat. So these are our 8 cultural traits. We have economy, religion, language. What's our language mostly here? English. Daily life, history, government, art, and groups. So these are our cultural traits. And today we're really going to focus on this one right here. We're going to focus on daily life, what it looks like to live in some of these places. And at the end of class, you're going to do a 3-paragraph paper on what it would look like if you were to visit this place and what you would see. So we're going to start with Italy. And last week you took the countries and capitals quiz, and Italy was on there. So we're going to look at Italy. Now, if you see, it's like a peninsula. It's kind of like Florida. It's surrounded on 3 sides by different bodies of water. We have a sea right there. We have the Mediterranean Sea, which you also had to label on your map, the Adriatic Sea, and another one right there. And then if you look, we can see a few other places around there that we've also talked about. So we're first going to kind of look at what life would be like if you lived in Italy. Now, these are really kind of extravagant pictures. We don't have a lot of these things in the United States, do we? So they have really big cathedrals. This is also part of their culture. It's going to be what it's like to live there on a daily basis. We have this. This is the Colosseum. This is part of their history. This is located in Rome. We have these where they ride gondolas. And if you visit Italy, this is going to be something that you'll want to do. And then we have another famous memorial right here. So this is the lifestyle in Italy. They like to take a few hours for lunch. So at school, you guys are kind of at lunch for what, 25, 30 minutes? They like to go home and take a few hours. They typically take lunch between 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., so it's a little bit later than ours. But again, they will go home and they will kind of relax and kind of take a break and enjoy their lunch. They eat a lot of tomatoes, fresh fruits, veggies, fresh fish, and olives. So if you go there, that's kind of going to be the diet that they have. It's called a Mediterranean diet. And if we pop back over here, we have the Mediterranean Sea. So that's why it's really popular here in Italy. They take an evening walk every day. Raise your hand if you guys take an evening walk every day. I don't. I know a lot of people don't. We typically leave school. You might go to a sport. You might have baseball, basketball practice. Then you might go home, do your homework, eat really quick, and go to bed. We don't really take time to do this. They also spend a lot of time with family members. Family, as you'll see in this part of the world, is really important. So a lot of these countries are going to have similar lifestyles, but we're only focusing on a few. So I want you to turn to your 3 o'clock partner for about 2 minutes, so 1 minute each. How is this different from our lifestyle? Go. All right, so as I was walking around, I heard some really great ideas. I heard a lot of you guys talk about the lunch and how you would really enjoy having a few hours for lunch. I completely agree. I think that would be great. So next, we're going to turn our attention to this. Does anybody know what country this is? Okay, so I hear some people saying it. I hear Ireland. Very nice. So this is Ireland. Okay. It's nice to get a little review in every now and then. Again, they have really famous castles. If you go there, you might visit the Edinburgh Castle. It's really green. You'll hear a lot of that. As you can see in this picture, they do get a lot of rain. They have really pretty beaches. And again, castles are going to be really important here in Ireland. It's something if you go and visit, it's going to be on your list. So here is some of their lifestyle. They have a high emphasis on music and dancing. If you go to Ireland, you're going to see something called an Irish step dance. Okay, it's very fast movement. It's very popular. They have big competitions every year. And music is going to be really important to them as well. Now, I know this is something that is going to be really similar to our culture because a lot of you guys can't go a few minutes without listening to music. You know, when you walk in the classroom, I have music playing, kind of the same thing. One of their big sports is Gaelic football. It's a cross between football and soccer. So, and if we have time, I'll play you guys a video. They get plenty of rain, which is why it is so green there. You'll also notice they have a lot of sheep. And again, that's because of all the rain and all the green grass. Now, fun fact, they do not get hurricanes or tornadoes. They're in a part of the world that they are just lucky where they don't have a lot of natural disasters. Yes, they might get a lot of rain, they might get a lot of snow, but for the most part, they're kind of lucky. People are generally really friendly. So when I was younger, I did go to Ireland. It was amazing. I loved being there. People were so nice. They were so nice to tourists. It was really cool. So turn to your, let's do our 12 o'clock partner. What is something that sticks out to you as a major difference? And I have a feeling I know what everybody's going to talk about. 2 minutes, go. Okay, so as I was hearing you guys, a lot of you talked about this one. We live in Missouri, so we have tons of tornadoes. It's really rare for a summer to go by without us having a tornado. So that's a, I would really like to live here. That is what we don't have to worry about. All right, this is up in the corner, but based off of this and what's next to it, so we have Poland, the Czech Republic, Austria, Switzerland, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg. What country is this? Very nice, as you can see up in the corner. This is Germany. Again, all of these places have very unique kind of architecture. And if we remember from our talk a minute ago, art is one of our cultural traits. So that's going to be a big one too. So they have really pretty architecture. You see this is more of like a older looking village they might have. There used to be these little dolls my grandma collected when I was younger, and they kind of have this kind of feel to them. Again, they have castles. If you go to Germany, that's going to be something really important to go visit. It's another picture. So they run on punctuality. They're early everywhere. They are not late. They think if you're late, then you just need to get it together. They have strong family values. Again, this is something we're going to see in this part of the world, that they really value that family time. They have a commitment to renewable energy. This was something really important since we just got done talking about, you know, our footprint and how we can kind of save energy. They take foreign holidays. This was probably my favorite thing about Germany is they find it so nice to just get away, go with their family and go somewhere foreign. So I had a foreign exchange student when I was younger, and they've been to Egypt, the Bahamas, they've came to America. They love going on foreign holidays. And gardening is very popular. They grow a lot of their own vegetables and fruits. What might be a reason you would want to move to Germany? So turn to your, let's do our 9 o'clock partner. 2 minutes, go. All right, I'm not surprised. A lot of you guys talked about taking a foreign holiday, which I completely agree. I think a foreign holiday would be wonderful. All right, so this has a name on it. This is Spain. We've talked about it. Again, we have the Mediterranean Sea, so that means we're going to have Italy right over here. And here are some pictures of Spain. Again, castles in this part of the world are very, very popular. We haven't talked about this a lot yet, but remember that there were kings and queens in this part of the world. When we moved to America, we didn't have kings and queens, so we don't have those castles that you see. This is another famous memorial they have. We have another castle-looking structure. So Spain, children are at the center of the family. They find children super important, and they hold children very close. So that's something that you're going to really see if you go over there. Again, they're just like Italy. They eat a very late lunch between 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and a very late dinner. And look at this. They eat lunch at home. At home. So they're going to make sure that they leave school, they go home, and they have lunch with their family. They have afternoon siestas or naps. So when they go home, they'll eat maybe about 1 o'clock. Then they'll take a nap, and then they'll go back to school. I find it really nice. They really have an emphasis on shopping at local markets. So instead of going to like Price Chopper or Walmart, they will go to a farmer's market in town. And that's where they buy a lot of their produce. Punctuation for time is not a big deal. They're more laid back. They're not lazy, but they like to enjoy things. So, like they have an afternoon siesta. And then if they're late to something, that's okay. Not a big deal. If you were to live in Spain, what would a day look like? You have 2 minutes. Let's go to your 12 o'clock partner again. All right, so I heard a lot of you say you'd be taking naps, and I have to agree. I would definitely be on the siesta train. Okay, we have the Ukraine. Now, this is close to Russia, so we're getting closer to Asia, so this is going to be a bit different from what we've been talking about. Here's their architecture. Again, you have really big cathedrals, really emphasized on, beauty, very kind of like statement architecture. Medical care is free in the Ukraine. This is something that they think is very important. So you get free medical care. They're very welcoming to tourists and immigrants. So if you go visit the Ukraine as an American, they're going to welcome you. They're going to be really nice to you, really respectful. Cost of living is low. Ukraine is also one of the, not the poorest country, but it is a poorer country than the ones we've been looking at. So cost of living is really low in that country. Many people travel by train. They don't use a lot of cars. They travel by train. They might use a bicycle or a bus. English is not widely spoken. So if you do go over there, you are going to have to kind of learn the language. But again, they're going to be really nice, really polite, and really understanding. What would a challenge be of living in the Ukraine? Let's go to our 6 o'clock partner. Okay, I heard a lot of you guys say that not having English spoken would be a difficult. I also heard people talking about having to travel by a train. Totally agree. Okay, so your assignment today, and you guys have these Google Slides on your Google Classroom. You will be writing a short 3-paragraph paper on what your day would look like if you lived in one of these countries, and you have to pick one that we just talked about. So when you're doing this, you are going to focus on daily life. If you want to use some of their art, that's fine. Maybe language, we did talk about in the Ukraine. They don't speak a lot of English. You will also be taking the post-test. If you guys remember yesterday, you took a pre-test on the culture. You will be taking a post-test today before you leave. It's a quick, 7 minutes. You're just matching the kind of lifestyle to what country it is. And again, you took the pre-test earlier this week when we started this unit. So you guys have the rest of class to write your paper and take your test. If you want to take your test first and write your paper later and have it for homework, it's due on Monday. All right, good luck, guys.